Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle, and I just wanted to make a video to voice my opinions on a topic I've been hearing a lot of chatter about recently. I've heard a lot of people talk about Napheesa Collier as a frontrunner for Rookie of the Year, which kind of shocks me a little bit. Me personally, if you're giving me a valid ballot and telling me to vote, I'm putting Napheesa third. And it's not that she's a bad player. She's a very good player. No, she made an immediate impact on the team. But I would say, people who are... I'd say a couple of people who I felt have stood out even more. Teaira McCown at number 2. And Arike I messed that up. Arike Gumbawale. I hope I got that right. Arike. We'll just say Arike. I would put Arike at number 1 personally, because because one thing Napheesa and Teaira have in common, they have teams that did a perfect job drafting them, that they are exactly what those teams needed. Like Teaira, the Fever needed length, they needed rebounding, they needed defense. Those are her strengths. She was the perfect pick for them. And Napheesa, she's basically Maya Moore Jr. But one thing that I think separates Arike from the other two is that, I know Napheesa's probably getting more respect for the fact that her team is winning. I don't believe she's the driving force in her team winning. Sylvia Fowles, the numbers are not there, but there's no doubt that having her on the floor is still a big presence you've got to account for. Not to mention Odyssey Sims in her first year with the team. She's become a driving force for them, and I think you cannot discount their contributions. And Teaira, her numbers have gotten better and better as the season goes along, and honestly, she's been getting a lot of double-doubles, and the only reason I wouldn't pick her number 1 is just because of Arike. She's basically becoming the face of the franchise. And Dallas they may be the worst team in the league, but there's no doubt that, Arike is probably the best player on that team right now. It's a team that they lose their foundations, okay? They lose their head coach, they lose their 2 best players, and a lot of new pieces getting shuffled around, put into the mix. This is a team that's just not in a good position, and she's basically been called upon to carry them, and she's answered that call many times over, in my opinion. It's like I said, the wins aren't there, but they will be. Either way, I know the fact that I so strongly believe in her means there's a good chance she's gonna lose. Because one thing I've learned throughout the years is that the majority of the time, whatever I believe to be true, the Associated Press does the exact opposite. But I felt like I'd give my 2 cents. For me, the most impressive rookie this season has been Arike, and I know she needs to work on her decision making. She can be very inconsistent. Her defense needs to step up, but at the same time, I'm gonna say the same thing about her that I think it was Diana Taurasi who said it about Stewie, that, she's just kind of running around out there right now. Imagine how good she'll be once she gets her head on straight. So, and that's one thing with all 3 of those players. You got a lot to look forward to next year, especially when you think about who's missing right now. Because you're going to have Maya Moore come back, and now you got 2 UConn grads and Maya and Napheesa walking side by side. Sister, ow! And then the Fever, they're getting back Victoria Vivians to reunite with Teaira. And then, of course, Sky Diggity returning for the Dallas. So I'm looking forward to seeing next year. I think all 3 of these teams, barring any other major injuries from because that they're all gonna do better next year. That's the main thing I'm trying to say. Sorry, throat is dry. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing those teams there. Now the star players come back and seeing how these new tandems start doing. But yeah, for me personally, if I get to cast a vote, I'm voting for Enrique for Rookie of the Year. And no, I'm less committal about MVP. I know there's a good chance it's going to go to Elena. That's what everyone's been saying. And I think half of that is just best player on best team. I really don't know if there's anyone who the entirety of the season has really stood head and shoulders above the rest. And I think that's the main reason we're going to get such a tight race. But one person that I hope gets legitimate consideration is Courtney Vandersloot. And I think I said that in my power rankings that if they make the playoffs at all, you have to consider her a candidate for MVP. And she, with 2 weeks to go in the season, she broke the assist record that she just set last year. That has to account for something. Her leadership on the floor is invaluable. Her defense is underappreciated. I hope that when you're watching games, you're paying attention because she's a strong competitor on both sides of the floor, and she's a solid leader. The offense runs through her, and the new coach, James Wade, he seems to be doing a great job, not to mention the development of the young players. All of these pieces fit well together. But at the end of the day, I'd say Courtney Vandersloot is probably the one player that, if you take her out of this team, they have like 3 wins at this point in the season, honestly. And I get it, this MVP doesn't really stand for MVP anymore. It's in the majority of sports leagues, it's basically Offensive Player of the Year now. But I strongly believe, even though she doesn't score a lot of points, she's still she's the main driving force behind the Sky and their success. So I hope she at least gets a few votes, even if she doesn't win it. But if I had a vote, I'm picking her number one. But yeah, that's just my opinion. How you guys feeling? It's been a good season. It really has, and it's gonna be some tight races still. A lot of people jockeying for position. And the only thing that upsets me is that, one, yes, the season's gonna come to a close fairly soon, but also the last game of the regular season is gonna be on the schedule. It says every single team is playing, but unfortunately it lists them playing all at the exact same time, which is so stupid, because that means I can only pick one to watch, or I just gotta keep flipping back and forth between all of them. What's going on there, man? Let's make it an all-day thing. Have one at 12, one at 2, one at 4, one at 6, one at 8. Let's line it up. Let's stack them on each other. Let's not just all squish it, It's the last game of the regular season. But whatever. It's none of my business. Anyways, thanks for listening. Hope you have a great week. Till the next time you see me, my name is Nathan Lyle. This has been The Fan Perspective.